Hello, I'm dgerard, and this is Pivot to AI, coming to you daily. Today, we're doing the mess of AI and job losses. What's actually happening? Now, both of these two statements are true. One, across the whole US economy, there's not really a visible effect of AI on hiring and job mix. But two, some sectors are absolutely devastated directly by AI. But also, one, nobody cares if it was technically AI or not that took their job, and two, the wider economy is visibly screwed already. So let's go through all of this. Even the most mainstream financial press is starting to admit that claiming your layoffs are AI at work is a fake excuse to sound good to investors. Here's a headline from Fortune. AI layoffs are looking more and more like corporate fiction that's masking a darker reality, Oxford Economics suggests. The darker reality is that the economy is already screwed, but we'll get to that. Quote, "The primary motivation for this rebranding of job cuts appears to be investor relations. The report notes that attributing staff reductions to AI adoption conveys a more positive message to investors than admitting to traditional business failures, such as weak consumer demand or excessive hiring in the past. By framing layoffs as a technological pivot, companies can present themselves as forward-thinking innovators rather than businesses struggling with cyclical downturns." When asked about the supposed link between AI and layoffs, Capelli urged people to look closely at announcements. The headline is, "It's because of AI," but if you read what they actually say, they say, "We expect that AI will cover this work." Hadn't done it, they're just hoping, and they're saying it because that's what they think investors want to hear. Unquote. A report from Yale's Budget Lab says there isn't evidence of economy-wide effects of AI. Quote, "The labour market doesn't feel great, so it feels correct that AI is taking people's jobs. But we've looked at this many different ways, and we really cannot find any sign that this is happening." Unquote. Broadly, across economic sectors, AI isn't visibly affecting the job market, but it's a good layoff excuse. Quote, "Stefani said there isn't much evidence from his research that shows large levels of technological unemployment due to AI. Economists call this structural employment, so the pie of work is not big enough for everybody anymore, and so people will lose jobs definitely because of AI. I don't think that this is happening on a mass scale," he said. Unquote. But why are there all these layoffs? It's broader and long-running economic problems. The end of the zero interest rate policy. I talked a while ago about how the end of zero interest was affecting the venture capitalists, but this is across the economy. From 2007 to 2009, we had the Great Financial Crisis. The US economy was so damaged by the crash, the Fed lowered interest rates to near zero for most of a decade, just to keep the money flowing. You could borrow money almost free. So companies did. They went as big as they could on the free money. They overhired just in case they needed the workers. Then, in 2022, inflation hit, so the Fed put interest rates back up. Suddenly, things were not going so great. Come to 2024-25, and companies are throwing out employees they hired prospectively like their surplus unsold stock. So people are, in fact, losing their jobs. But don't say, no one is losing their jobs to AI, because that's not actually true. Some sectors really have been devastated by AI specifically. Brian Merchant at Blood in the Machine, which you should all read, has been hammering on this theme. He's got an ongoing project, AI Took My Job, talking to workers who were indeed fired directly for AI. Translators in particular are affected. businesses think bad machine translation is good enough, even when it's objectively garbage. Duolingo's quality is so bad with AI-generated content that a lot of paying customers have just left. Content moderators are an AI target too, because companies really do not care about content moderation job at all. They'll just, any old trash will do, and they've definitely got any old trash right there. The vibe coding push and computer software really just not working anymore? I don't have a smoking gun link, but it's clear that quality is job number 55 or so. MBAs loathe employees, any employees. They despise you. They also assume any job they don't understand must be simple. So they put out sloppy trash that any consumer can see is obviously just garbage. But the product won't lose its market for the next year, probably. So that's a problem for a few quarters hence. Sometimes managers forget AI is just the excuse, and they fire entry-level workers assuming AI can replace them, when it can't. Sometimes they realize they shot themselves in the foot. What will happen is companies will realize the bots can't do the jobs, but this will take a year or two. Then the companies that survive will rehire people. They'll try to do it at a lower pay, of course. Liz Fong-Jones at Honeycomb, and formerly of Google, says, quote, AI today is literally not capable of replacing the senior engineers they are laying off. Corps are in fact getting less done, but they're banking on making an example of enough people that survivors put their heads down and help them implement AI in exchange for keeping their jobs. For now. Unquote. When the AI bubble pops, which I'm still guessing at next year or so, that marks the start of Great Depression 2. It's going to be bad, but it's bad already. Without a few huge tech companies swapping the same $10 billion around back and forth, the economy numbers officially go into recession. But the real economy where you and I live is really obviously already in trouble. The numbers in the real US economy are so bad, President Trump fired the US Commissioner of Labor Statistics because of a jobs report he didn't like. That's how you know it's going great. For now, it's mutual aid time. If you're still in work, send some money to the people who are not. They need it. And of course, we must mention our good friends at Stop Gen AI, who help redistribute money to those affected by AI-related or AI excuse job cuts. Go support Stop Gen AI. They're very nice. Thanks for tuning in to Pivot to AI. Rodrigo Guerin at the Brazilian tech blog Manual do Usuário, I think that's right, is running translations into Portuguese of articles from the Pivot to AI blog. His translation of "If users notice your software, you're already a loser" is up now. Link below. It's Pledge Week at Pivot to AI, and we need your pledges to keep Pivot to AI coming out daily. Just $5 into the Patreon, linked in the show notes, helps tremendously. But also, I want to talk about our merchandise. We got t-shirts in all the colors. We've got mugs. We've got hats. We got clocks. We got fridge magnets. It's good quality and it's on Redbubble. Link below. Thank you all. I couldn't do this without all of you. I'll see you tomorrow and bye for now.